Well, developing tonight, a legal high-stakes fight over the federal deployment of National Guard troops here to Portland continues.
So we're talking about the case Trump versus Oregon taking another turn today as a federal judge weighed whether to keep a restraining order in place. That's even as the appeals court considers a rare review of Monday's ruling in favor of President Trump.
And there was a major development within the hour. Joel Jones has been tracking this case for weeks. He joins us with that breaking news. Joel?
Yes, Jeff, Liz, just within the last hour or so, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals moving to temporarily pause its own decision that would have allowed the federal deployment of National Guard troops here in Portland. That means troops won't hit the streets here until at least Tuesday at 5 p.m. as the court weighs whether the full Ninth Circuit will rehear this case. It's a lot of moving pieces, but this pause comes as U.S. District Judge Karen Immergut heard arguments on whether to dissolve her order blocking the president from deploying troops from out of state.
It would be gravely damaging if there's temporary deployment of the troops and then you come in and you say you're taking the case en banc.
Legal experts weigh in after the Ninth Circuit ruled 2-1 in favor of the Trump administration, staying a lower court order blocking the president's plan to deploy 200 Oregon National Guard members. The administration then asking Judge Immergut to dissolve her second order immediately, calling the appeal decision a significant change in law and arguing the second order based on similar facts should also be dissolved. But the state argued the second order covers the requested federalization of 600 troops from California and Texas, not addressed by the Ninth Circuit, pointing to previous arguments made by the administration as a basis for why the facts differ.
Only 200 members of the Oregon National Guard were called up compared to the 4,000.
Professor of Law Tung Yin says if Judge Immergut chooses not to dissolve the order, the Trump administration will likely appeal.
We'll probably end up back in front of Judges Nelson, Beatty, and Graber, and they'll probably vote 2-1 to dissolve the second or stay the second TRO as well. If she dissolves it, then that means there's no more barrier to the deployment of the troops.
Even if both orders are lifted, troops may not immediately hit the streets as the push for a full court review continues. Senior Judge Susan Graber, in sharp dissent, urged colleagues to swiftly vacate the majority's order before an illegal deployment. The pushback prompting a rare en banc vote, allowing 11 judges to reconsider the panel's ruling.
There's a stronger argument there to say that, look, the Ninth Circuit as a whole is very interested in this issue. So maybe we should keep the status quo until the Ninth Circuit at least decides, are they going to take a case en banc?
Now, in response to the decision to pause the deployment of the National Guard troops, Attorney General Dan Rayfield stated in part, this decision gives the court time to fully consider the serious constitutional questions at stake. It also ensures there won't be a federal deployment while that process plays out, an important step in protecting Oregonians' rights and keeping our communities safe. Now, meanwhile, Judge Immergut says she plans to have a decision on her order by Monday. So, of course, we will continue to track all of this very closely and bring you the latest on air and online at KOIN.com. Reporting live in downtown Portland tonight, I'm Joelle Jones, KOIN 6 News.
Joelle, thank you for that major update.